YouTube, we got an exciting one for you. The unboxing is here. What you see here is a ton of Rolexes that you may have seen before or not, but there's gonna be a quick test behind the Rolexes first, and then we're gonna jump to the unboxing. Stay tuned, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Let's start with a quick test. Mark, I open up a box, you spit out the reference number. Now, prior to this, to be fair, I told him, I said, he didn't see these watches, and I said, you're gonna have to spit the reference numbers off the top of your head like Adrian did back in Miami. If you guys caught that video on YouTube, if you didn't, go watch it. But he doesn't know that I'm also gonna ask him what the market price is. Okay. Are you ready?
We'll see. Born ready.
Ready?
Born ready.
Set, go.
We got a 124300 Coral Red OP. Those are trading now under $20,000. You got a 126622 Yachtmaster Slate, 40 millimeters. Those are around the $15,000 or so price point. You got a 228238 green, one of my favorite day dates. That one's right around that $60,000 price point today. You got a 126234 36 millimeter Wimbledon. I want to say these are around the $13,000 or so price point for a new. You got a 116610 LV Submariner Hulk. Depending on, there's a big variance between, like, let's say a 2010 versus a 2020. So I'll say like anywhere from, let's say 16,000 to 20 plus, depending on year and condition.
No shit, okay.
Yeah.
I hope that's the $20,000 one.
This is a 126610 LV Submariner Starbucks. I mean, if it's brand new, fresh, around that 16,000 price point.
That's a fake box.
Yeah, for sure, a fake box.
Hopefully it's a real watch.
Okay.
It's a real watch.
We got a 235 Rolex Sky Dweller on a kind of strap. This probably would have been a leather strap because it's got the Roman dial. These are hovering around.
He's not Roman with the leather strap. He's the
that's sub $40,000 price range. You can get them all day long.
That was the original ones that came out.
Yeah, I would say it's even sub 35 today. 126613 LB. These are only trading slightly over retail. You can get these around the 18 to 18.5 penny a year. 126613 LN. This is black. These you'll get actually right around, maybe even under MSRP penny a year. They're about that 16 to 17,000 price range. This is a 126600. You'll get these under, I would say, 15,000, depending on what year it is. And then 228239 green, right around that 45 or less price range, again, penny year and condition.
Now, I'm not gonna say whether he passed or failed. For all you guys that do know Rolex reference numbers, do comment below if you think he is right or if he is wrong or if he made any mistakes. Oh, Marco.
15510 blue.
Now look, it's no secret that, especially the blue dial things, obviously they're still trading over list.
Yeah,
but they're not trading 3X. They're not trading 4X anymore.
Right.
Where's this trading at today?
They're 2.5X list at least. You're gonna find them upwards of 50,000 today. Yeah.
Exactly, which is good to see for them to come down, and it's also good to see for them to stabilize because people are still wondering, oh my God, is it gonna go down further? It can never go down further due to inavailability. NAP will never make them available unless you're out there buying something else. And when you're out there buying something else, let's say like a Code 1159 that you have to lose a little bit of money on, this is exactly what happens.
Nice little change of pace. We got a classic Daniel Roth. Not much going on to this other than big date, and then you got just standard.
Now this is not the 90s Roth era,
no,
but
this will be post Bulgari.
This is post Bulgari. This is the next best thing. But what makes it the next best thing is it's actually affordable. Because if you guys remember, a little while ago I talked about those 90 Roths and how they're going to go through the roof. Right now you couldn't touch one. What Marco did miss here is that this is not just any post Bulgari Daniel Roth.
Oh, it's a Khanjar one.
This is a Khanjar.
Sorry, I need my
Daniel
glasses
Roth.
for that.
You don't see many of those around, but the Sultan of Oman doesn't just order Rolexes, contrary, but they order a ton of brands, and numerous brands, numerous types of watches have been made with a Khanjar. Are you unboxing sunglasses?
You're burnt. I'm keeping these. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what these are. I've never seen these.
Who are they made by?
Omega.
Is it actually Omega or is it another brand?
No, it's Omega. Look.
Literally says Omega on it? It's not by some other brand?
Oh, these are definitely, I think these are ladies' sunglasses, never mind.
I don't know, I don't think so.
Here, try them on, Roby, go ahead. I'm not trying those on.
Did somebody sing that I wear my sunglasses at night?
Yeah. Yeah, they're ladies for sure.
What are the other ones?
No, just this.
I don't think they're, guys, guys,
100%.
comment below, are these ladies?
I think
so. What do you think?
They're definitely not.
Put them
I
on.
mean, they might be, but they look fine.
Let's go.
Yeah, that looks fine.
I feel like I look like a dork right there.
So, right out of the gate, I just mentioned that Khanjar watches don't necessarily come just on Rolexes. They come across all brands. So the Sultan of Oman orders all of them. You see what's on the front of that box?
That's pretty special.
Right.
Yeah,
So you have the Khanjar logo right there, and it also says Sultan of Oman right on top of the box, much like you would see. It's basically the logo you would get on the back of the watch. And what this is a Speedy. And again, how do you find something rare in the millions and millions of watches that are being produced by brands like Omega and brands like Rolex and Omega? Is you find something like this, which is why I always go after things like this, because the same logo that's here is now in the back of the watch. And I have to be perfectly honest with you and say, this is the first time I've ever had one of these in my hands. And I always feel like I deliver something really cool to the client, right? Because this has a big cool factor, like those sunglasses. I gotta tell you, that second pair looks a lot cooler on you than the first one.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into Renault and 𝗙𝗆𝗆, right? So you guys, no secret, you know that the a la carte concept is my favorite complication from AP. But the second thing they came out with was the carbon concept. You have to consider the times. First and foremost, this is already when we know that the gear selector and all these things went into the RM002 and RM003, right? Renault and 𝗙𝗆𝗆 then sold those movements there. Think about the time, 2004, 2003. We're talking about avant-garde use of material, right? It dates back to that. A lot of people tend to think that, oh, you know, we're in the world where it's so avant-garde, we're using ceramics, we're using TPT, which is another fancy word for plastic, or carbon for that matter. But look how far back AP, that's why I've always said AP, outside of being a powerhouse. So if you think about that, how far back we're going, almost 20 years, where AP is the true pioneer when it comes to material use, starting with the rubber straps, going back even further, and looking at things like carbon case, looking at things like ceramic bezel, and not to mention the machine that's inside this watch.
Yeah, it's crazy watch. I mean, what I like about this too is just such a phenomenal value for what it is, right? We're talking about something that was built on, so first of all, function selector. I think this also has that 10-day power reserve, right? If I'm not mistaken.
It has the dynamograph too.
Yes, dynamograph. I mean, this thing is.
Can you dumb down the dynamograph?
Yeah, dynamograph essentially is just.
As you wind the watch, it basically shows you the tension on the spring.
Exactly,
in layman's terms?
Yeah, it's so beautiful. Oh my God, this thing.
I'm glad you said that, Marco, not me.
I'm sorry. The only thing is, obviously, again, is the size. Like pretty much all concept watches, right? But again,
well, that's why you're able to pick these. I think these are sleepers too, because right now you're able to pick these up in the low 100s.
Yeah, they're the best value.
And I think it's a ridiculous value for the money.
The best value APs.
And I wish I had the wrist for it. Watches that didn't really dip at all. Watches that I've seen over the last 3-4 years slowly creep up. You know, 5036s, 5035s, 5146s. This is the one I just picked up, and this is a Patek 5040. And what makes this one actually special and rare is this is a, never mind that it is in platinum, it's the fact that it's a black dial with those Piguet numerals. Rarely do you find these things with a black dial, and rightfully so, because people tend to keep these more than the white dials. It's just a lot more attractive in black.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to love about this. 240 micro rotor movement, which I think is probably Patek Philippe's nicest, you know, kind of caliber, just because you get to see so much. Obviously, this has the closed case back, but you can pop that off. And then, you know, the perpetual calendar display. I love the railroad style kind of minute track on the actual watch. I mean, I love the fact too that it's such an underappreciated model because of the case shape, but yet it's, I mean, this is a watch you're gonna find under 50,000, right? Like it's a perpetual calendar in platinum.
Not under 50,000.
Around that,
in the mid 50s. Let's
okay, let's call it around the mid to low 50s, right? For a platinum perpetual calendar from Patek Philippe, I mean, I don't know of a better value.
So
really.
Again, people. There was a day date in here for about 55,000, 60,000. This one, right? Mm-hmm. Now, was it this one?
Yeah, it's that one.
Yeah. So I mean, a little biased. Go Eagles. It's so difficult in today's watch world for somebody to make a decision when you're talking about, well, here's a very, very flex watch, right? Very recognizable, and here's a very subdued flex. But it's night and day. This is a full-blown perpetual from the Rolls Royce of all watches, and here's a flex watch from the #1 selling brand in the world. So it's very difficult to make those decisions. So I kind of feel for you
But
guys.
both these watches, in fairness, really don't compete with one another, right?
They don't. Of course they don't.
They're in such different
I'm saying
markets.
if you have to choose.
The price point, yeah. The price point being similar, you know, what's a better watch? No doubt about it. Patek Philippe obviously wins.
All right, so I went out on a limb, and we've talked about DeBethunes quite some time, and I said buffoons because I like to jokingly call DeBethune the buffoons, right? Because it's just easier to pronounce. But that doesn't necessarily make them buffoons as watches. In fact, I respect the brand, I respect the complication, and I really respect the aesthetics and how comfortable the watches are that DeBethune makes. So it's an independent watchmaker with not a very high production. And for me, I've always said, you know, if you're gonna do something, then do it. So I had an opportunity to pick up 5 of them at the same time, which usually never happens. We have a few, I think we have like 2 DeBethunes on the website. And I realized that, you know, we do get a lot of inquiries for them. People do ask a lot of questions for them. And in order to sell X, you have to have X. So I practice what I preach, and I picked up 5 of them. And Marco got they came in yesterday actually, and Marco was just like, oh, I love these. So which one do you want to start with? Because this is your stuff. I know you love this stuff.
Yeah, we could start, I guess, start with that one. So probably their most classical, kind of simple model, but one of the most beloved. It's a DB25 𝗙𝗰𝗲𝗆𝗃. This is absolutely beautiful. This one is in white gold with that blue titanium dial. What I like about it too is you can actually customize it. So that star layout, you can actually get customized. You know, if you order from DeBethune, or if you own this watch and you want to get it changed, you can actually get the exact constellation on any day you want. So some people will get it like the day their daughter is born or their son is born, or you could get it the day you're born, or a special day.
Can you tell what this is set to?
The day you're, yeah,
I can't. October 25th, 1923.
That's funny. And then you look at the reverse things like, you know, the proprietary balance wheel, proprietary hairspring, not to mention their shock absorption system. I mean, it's finished to the 9s. So you combine, you know, I guess a beautiful look plus metallurgy with that blue titanium with high-end watchmaking and finishing. It's as good as it gets.
Wow, I couldn't have said that better myself. Take number 1, I mentioned comfort. Take number 2, I mentioned aesthetics. And when I said aesthetics, I think to me, DeBethune does a perfect job of combining sports and dress in the same watch. Because this is a watch I put on with a pair of jeans or sweatpants. Yeah. This is also a watch I put on with a suit or a tuxedo, right? And last but not least, if you're a Trekkie, I mean, look at the back of this watch.
Let's say you compare this versus, you know, the kind of watch I would say that is its most fair comparison is a 𝗴𝗿𝗆𝗄𝗯 Chronomètre Blue. I think objectively speaking, is a better watch. It's a more innovative watch.
Get a lot more bang for your dollar.
I actually like the look of this better than I do the 𝗴𝗆𝗄𝗯. Personally, that's my take. Yeah, this is a DB28. There's part of their sports reference. This one is kind of their take on a waterproof watch, right? Which is why it comes on a rubber strap. You get also their patented floating lug system, which is great. Again, same kind of deal, right? Proprietary balance wheel, proprietary balance spring, not to mention, of course, their shock abrasion system, which is super innovative and works incredibly. And the ergonomics on wrist, beautiful.
If Audemars Piguet, these type of floating lugs on their concepts, I'd be so happy. I'd be so happy. And you would think, oh my God, this may not be as comfortable to wear, but these floating lugs, or these adjustable lugs, or whatever you want to, flexible lugs, whatever you want to call it.
What's cool about DeBethune is you can, again, it goes back to this idea that independent watchmakers are bespoke watchmakers, right? So those floating lugs you can actually customize in different sizes. You can order large lugs, small lugs, medium lugs, depending on the size preference you like. If you like a bigger watch, smaller.
I don't know. I've had every DeBethune we've ever had here with floating lugs, regardless of the size of the lugs. It just fits.
It always fits perfect.
And I have a small and an average wrist. Well, let's talk about horology with these guys, because these guys do some amazing things. So let's go to this Tourbillon real quick.
Yeah, so DB28 Tourbillon, absolutely beautiful watch. It's a 30-second Tourbillon. It's actually the lightest, I want to say the lightest Tourbillon in the world, or one of them. At least at the time that they first made this movement, it was.
How difficult is it to make a lightest Tourbillon?
I mean, it's extremely difficult, right? Because first of all, it's also a 30-second Tourbillon as opposed to a 60-second Tourbillon. Extremely difficult just due to, obviously, balancing all of that out, right? You also don't want to make a light tourbillon that's not resistant to shock, right? They want a watch that's practical to wear, but at the same time performs its function. So yeah, super technically innovative. And
floating lugs, obviously slightly on the thinner side. And again, this is a large watch. If you look at the entire lug, says, how does this not look like Star Trek spaceship? I mean, look at that thing. It's just amazing. Aesthetically, this thing, and again, very, very large watch, but look at the minute I put her on the wrist. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. And all of these, what's really practical about DeBethune watches is they really make it for the average wearer, right? A lot of these will have 3-day power reserves, 5-day power reserves, which again, first of all, very difficult to achieve with a tourbillon because of the amount of torque required to power a 30-second tourbillon specifically.
Please show me a better looking watch out on the market.
Yeah, this is pretty.
Please. I mean, this is just, I mean, it looks like something out of the future. Look at this. This thing is just bonkers.
So DeBethune is really known for their kind of blue model, right? I would say it's probably their most popular model, which is that all blue titanium. Baby. So even the case will be blue. But in this case, what you have, I think it's called the kind of gold, and they made this for a USA limited edition. Absolutely beautiful watch. So it combines, what I love too is a two-tone
There's
case.
10 of these made.
10 of these, yeah. There's only 10 made. So it combines a two-tone case, which I think is always something so underappreciated is case making, right? When you're combining a rose gold case with the blue proprietary titanium blue.
No,
glove,
explain to them, this is not painted.
No. So they actually heat this, right?
Yeah, so it's like, you know, metal turns blue when it's heated. This is titanium, which is not easy to achieve either.
It's crazy. To achieve this is just on another level. Even their moon phases, so if you see their moon phase, it's a two-tone moon phase, so I'm pretty sure it's made of steel and palladium.
Well, this is easy to be missed. See that little ball down there?
So, yeah. So
that's the moon phase. That's a 3D moon phase that will turn, and as it turns, the color of that ball will change. So right now, I guess it's nighttime.
And that again is heat blued, right? So that's using palladium, but they heat treat it also. And I think it's accurate to like 122 days. So this is what makes DeBethune special, right? Combining high-end watchmaking with high-end metallurgy. It's beautiful. It's one of a kind, really. There's nothing else like it.
Speaking of innovation,
This thing is sick.
you ever want to have a flashlight inside your watch?
All the time.
Thank you, Nina.
I have a G-Shock.
Now imagine how do you achieve that without a battery or a power source outside then your mainspring that powers your watch?
Yeah, so again, another DB28. This is called the JPS or John Player Special because the black and gold colors. Again,
familiar with racing back in the day?
So another one of their sports watch ranges. So again, rubber strap because this is actually water resistant. And what's cool is there's no actual lume on this watch. So if you wanted to check the time underwater, you would essentially just press the crown and the bottom button and that would light up your watch.
And this does not have a battery. This is not plugged into a wall. This is not rechargeable overnight. How does one achieve lighting stuff up with the power? It's just,
that's beyond my technical
there
knowledge.
There are two things in the world of horology that, you know, when you deal with stuff like this on a day-to-day, right? And it's not to sound conceited, it's hard to be impressed by certain things because you've kind of seen it all.
Yeah,
it's been done for hundreds of years.
Exactly.
You've seen so many variations of, let's say, a complication like a Tourbillon or a minute repeater.
Well, listen, to dumb it down, right? You drive a car, you know, for so many. Let's say you drive a daily drive a Ferrari, right? That's a life I'd like to live.
I'm sorry,
right?
a daily drive a Ferrari?
Yeah. Let's say you daily. Eventually, you know what I mean. You get used to just driving a Ferrari.
Absolutely.
It's the same way, right? Seeing something so many different times.
Let me know if you think Marcus should keep one of those sunglasses. Like, comment, share, subscribe, YouTube, Instagram. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one. Marky, thank you.